I'm curious how this became sort of something fun, something interesting, to now maybe something serious about trying to kick in the NFL. When can you give us sort of the progression of this?
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I got invited to go out to Eagles practice. I happened to have off that day, so it worked out really well. And I went out with my husband Brian and my coach and mentor, his younger son Preston. I also know the Ravens kicking coach and special teams coach, who used to be a former mayor a couple towns over from me. So he's been trying to get me to come out and kick with Justin Tucker over the last couple of years. So finally, all things aligned. I was able to go when the Eagles were practicing against the Ravens. Brought my boots because I was just going to have some fun kicking some field goals. Strapped up, put my boots on and just started kicking field goals. I didn't really warm up. I started at 25 yards and nailed that one and just kept moving further and further back. Got set at the 55-yard line and hit that one straight off the bat. And then, next thing I know, I'm getting in the car to leave an hour later or so, and things just started blowing up and going viral. And it turned into, potentially playing in the NFL, and it's been just wild, the power of social media and just crazy, really.
So what was the discussion like with your husband?
I think when I got home, and my phone was blowing up with all sorts of texts and tweets and you name it, I was just kind of laughing and thinking this is just something fun. And my husband was actually saying, this is pretty big. I mean, you should seriously consider it. So he's all for it. I just was kind of brushing it off, but I think the more and more that I think about it, it would be pretty amazing. Number one, to be the first female to kick in the NFL, to break that barrier and maybe pave the way for some other future female kickers. And I love a challenge. And I know that, whatever challenge comes my way, I don't shy away from it. I actually embrace it. And with the right training and the right technique and all of that, it's a possibility. And I'm not naive to know that there's some big men that play football. And obviously I wasn't trying out for the NFL when I was kicking this field goal. So I took multiple steps because I was just having fun with it. So I'd like to get out there. I'd like to actually really try to get, a two-step down. If I can do that, then there is a great possibility. But first and foremost, I am focusing on soccer at the moment and do want to be a part of the Olympic team. And that's sort of my goal right now.
Would you have to retire from the U.S. women's soccer team to focus on this?
I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how, it would work to have a U.S. soccer contract and also an NFL contract. I'm not sure that they've ever run into that problem before. I would imagine that, I'd probably have to choose. But I think this is something that it's going to depend on the next coach coming in and if they see me in their future plans for the Olympics. And then I'll, just kind of go from there and figure it out.
It feels like there are a lot of people worried for you that if you have to tackle somebody, which I found sexist because nobody ever says a field goal kicker, boy, can he tackle somebody. You've dealt with the physicality of playing soccer. You play in a physical way. Do you have any concerns about this?
I mean, of course. I mean, I know that it does happen. I think that there is, less of a chance of that happening, but I know that it does happen. I think that there's a number of different things. You can kind of focus on all that and, or I could just kind of attempt it and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, it's different. I mean, men are bigger, stronger, faster than women. That's just kind of the DNA of men versus women. I get that. I know that. And it's obviously something that, I would have to think about as well. But I really believe that I have great form as far as technique on the soccer field, and that carries into kicking a field goal as well. I actually was sent a screenshot of Justin Tucker kicking and me kicking, and it's pretty similar technique. So I think with some practice and all that, there's definitely a possibility.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV, stream for free on BR Live, or download the Dan Patrick Show app.